So we've looked at using if-else statements with comparison operators, such as greater than, less than, or equal to. In this video, we're going to take a look at logical operators. And logical operators are also often used with if-else statements. So let's take a look at how we can use them. So let's get started with a folder, and this is number 4, and this is called logical operators. And then open that folder up in brackets. And just drag that in there. Okay. So again, start in the same way as usual with a new title of logical operators. And then delete everything between the script tags that we don't need. So to start with, I'm going to create a couple of variables that we can work with. So just simply going to call this number 1 and set that to be 10. And then a second variable, number 2. And I'm going to set this one to be 20. So what we're going to be looking at in this video is using the AND, which is the 2 ampersands. We'll be looking at OR, which is the 2 vertical bars, or the pipes. And we'll be looking at the exclamation mark, which means not. So we're going to get started with AND. And I'm going to combine this with a if statement. So let's create a simple if statement. And let's create a document dot write, just saying condition is true. And actually we'll put some h2 tags around these, just so they're just a little bit bigger. Okay, so let's get started with a condition which is true. So if number 1 is equal to 10, then let's write condition is true to the browser. There we go, so that is true. And if we wanted to check if more than one condition was true, we can use the AND logical operator. So we can test a second condition. And so this is if number 1 is equal to 10. And also if number 1 is less than 20. And both conditions are true. So if we hit refresh, we'll still get the condition is true statement. So that's a good way of checking if more than one value needs to be true to trigger a action. And as well as AND, if we wanted to just check if one of these statements was true, we can use the 2 vertical bars or the 2 pipes. So now only one of these sides needs to be true for it to trigger this document write. So if number 1 is equal to 10, or number 2 is equal to 10. So now just number 1 is true and number 2 is false. So refresh, and there we go. So we get condition is true. But if we were to change this to be 2 false conditions, that text disappears now. And then next we're going to look at not. So if you remember from earlier on in the course, we looked at some of the operators you could use, such as less than and greater than. These can be combined with the exclamation mark, which does the exact opposite. So rather than the less than symbol, this would simply mean not less than. So let's just test this in our if statement and take a look. So let's just delete a little bit of this. So we'll start with a true statement. So if number 1 is less than number 2, which it is, we should get the text there. But if we wanted to do the exact opposite and make this condition false, we'll just simply combine that with the not symbol. So if number 1 is not less than 2, So now if we refresh, we should see that the text disappears. And it doesn't have to be the less than or greater than symbol. We can also use the equal symbol. So if number 1 is not equal to 20, then print this statement out. There we go. So there's just 1 or 2 more operators to look at, which you may find useful. And I'll see you in the next video where we'll take a look at using switch statements. And we'll take a look at how we can use them in JavaScript to handle multiple outcomes or multiple cases. So thank you, and I'll see you there.